Hello, in this video I'm going to introduce you to an exercise that walks you through the bias of different colors. You will need the following equipment: some water, paint, brushes and paper, and a palette. In terms of colors, use only the colors that I'm going to put on my palette. You will use 2 yellows, 2 reds and 2 blues. Let's have initial look at them. You can see that those yellows are different. The lemon yellow is cooler and the cadmium yellow looks a bit warmer. It's a similar situation with your reds. I've got a crimson and cadmium red, and one of them is cooler, which is crimson, and cadmium red, it's a bit warmer. This is because even if the colors are generally warm, they still can have a bit of the bias. The same with blues. One is cooler, one is having a bit of bias towards a warmer tone. That will also apply to a secondary colors that are mixed from those colors. We're not going to use them in this exercise, but you can see my 2 greens. One is dark and cool, and one it's much warmer, much more yellowish. We will mix those secondary colors from our primary colors. So please put out 2 yellows, 2 reds and 2 blues on your palette. You might not have exactly the same colors in your pack, but you will have an equivalent of warmer and cooler bias in there. You will also need some white. Okay, let's start mixing. We will start with greens. And greens are made from blues and yellows. As I've mentioned earlier, all colors can have a bias. So for example, yellows are generally a warm colors, but they can lean a bit more towards warm or cool color. So yellow lemon is going to be a warm color that has a cool bias, so it's leaning towards a cooler color. And cadmium yellow, it's going to be much warmer, much more orangey. What I would like you to do, I would like you to go ahead and try different combinations of the yellows and blues. I would like you to do a general color and then make it a bit lighter with white to see how that color will change if you make it brighter. What you're going to notice is that your results are going to be very, very different. Some of the greens are going to be very cool, if using cold blue and cold yellow, and some others are going to be very warm. They're going to be different. As you're doing that, you should also label your colors, and I would advise you to also drop a bit of the original color next to it to make it easier for you to remember which color was made with which original color. Different companies name colors in the same way. They might not give you exactly the same results because the chemicals used in the paints might be different. So every time you're switching between different types of paints or different brands of paints, you should go with this exercise and you should test your colors to sort of like know what kind of results you can achieve. Let's look on those greens a bit closer, and you can see I've labeled the name of the original colors and put a bit of samples of what colors I've used to achieve those. And you can see that the greens are very, very different. Right, next oranges. So obviously yellows and reds, and please repeat the same procedure with them. Label your colors, put a sample of the original color as well, and this time make your color lighter by addition of yellow. This time the results are different but a bit more subtle. If you look at them a bit closer, some of those oranges are more vibrant than the others. Of the purples, blues and reds, the same concept, labeling, making it lighter with white. Don't worry about the neatness of your page, it's color mixing that counts. Make it fit whichever way you want. Let's have a closer look on those purples. And you can see again the range is very different. Last thing for you to do in this exercise is to create some experiments. Here, I would like you to play with your secondary colors, so the colors that you've already created, and changing them by an addition of other colors into them. This is more play for you, and as long as you're labeling what you're adding, it's going to give you more idea of how the colors can behave when you break them or change them. Fill the remaining space of your paper with different experiments. Make sure that you label how you created those results. It might be helpful for you in your future painting. You should use this exercise to refer to while you are painting your artwork in my course. Right, I'm going to show you an image of those exercises so you can compare the colors into a bit more depth. Thank you very much, and I hope that you've enjoyed the video.